Well, Tanvi, the euphoria is still there. The workers are very much confident that it is going to be majority. I have got few of the workers with me. एज लग रहा है अभी भी क्लियर कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा है वर्कर्स के तौर पे कैसे देखते हैं
नहीं, एज वाली बात नहीं है। देखिए, जिस तरीके का एंग्विश जो है वो पूरे बिहार में था मोदी जी को लेके या नीतीश जी को लेके या उनकी पॉलिसी के खिलाफ, अगर इसके बाद भी अगर कोई रिजल्ट जो है वो गड़बड़ आता है, वैसे हमको लगता नहीं है, हमको पूरी उम्मीद है, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने जिस तरीके का देखा था, हम लोगों ने जिस तरीके की लोगों का समर्थन देखा था, तो मुझे लगता है कि सरकार हम लोग बनाएंगे। मगर फिर भी अगर कुछ होता है तो इट वुड बी द मॉकरी ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी।
अच्छा ठीक है अभी जो जो नंबर्स आ रहे हैं उसको कैसे देख रहे हैं आप लोग सुबह से आए हुए हैं
देखिए सर, हम लोग आप अगर ये फर्स्ट देख रहे हैं बैलेट पेपर का, तो ये आप सुनते होंगे कि इस पे सब दिन बीजेपी का कब्जा रहा था, और आज पहली बार इस बार जो चुनाव में अगर महागठबंधन इस पे भी लीड कर रहा है ये बराबर, तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात है, क्योंकि समझने वाली बात है कि यहाँ पे सारी होती थी
करता पूरी पूरी जोश के साथ अभी भी खड़े हैं
हाँ, हम लोग जोश, क्योंकि जो ग्रामीण है जिसपे लालू जी ने ग्रामीण क्षेत्र को स्मार्ट सिटी बनाने की बात की और सामाजिक न्याय देने की बात किए थे, और उसके बाद तेजस्वी जी ने आर्थिक न्याय की बात की है इस बार, और विकास के मुद्दे पे इस बार इलेक्शन हुआ है। इसलिए तमाम बिहार के हर जिले, हर क्षेत्र के लोग, हर तबके के लोग ने इस विकास की ओर जाने का काम किया और इस पे वोट डालने का काम।
शाम तक यही रहना।
हाँ, शाम तक हम लोग यहीं रहेंगे, और आप देख लीजिए कि महागठबंधन की सरकार बन रही है।
Still confident, very much confident, Tanvi, of their victory, clearly saying that the campaign of Tejasvi has resonated on ground, and the RJD workers are clearly confident. The crowd that we are seeing here, it is not there at JDU office, not there at CM's residence. It is something which is only seen here at Tejasvi's residence. Tanvi, back to you.
Which way the results go, there isn't much for the JDU to celebrate. They may come back to power, but their own performance is not going to be anything to cheer about. So they are obviously going to be very cautious about how they respond to this. Ayushman, thanks so much for bringing us those voices. Those people have been there since 6 a.m. today. Actually, they've been there for the last 3 days that we've been seeing them and speaking to them. So the support really continues. I just want to also point out how this time around, there are some very significant shifts which are happening. So JDU is trailing in 7 seats where they have won elections 3 times in a row now. In 7 of those seats where they have won 3 consecutive times, they are now trailing. Even for the BJP in 5 such seats where they have won 3 elections in a row, they are trailing. And for the RJD in 5 such seats where they have won 3 elections in a row, they are trailing. So there are otherwise some significant shifts which are taking place, and we will get into those details of the firewalls that are being breached this time. Who are the candidates and which are the constituencies that are doing that? Vinay?
Just one caveat, because I've just done a full search of every constituency that is reporting on the Election Commission's database, and I can tell you, and I think the viewers need to keep this in mind, that except 6 seats, all the other seats, the lead margins are currently under 2,000. So this is just the 3rd round being counted. So it's a very initial trend as of now. Only 6 seats do we have where the lead margin is over 5,000. All the others are less than 2,000. In fact, almost half of them are under 1,000. There are probably 500, 600 votes. So this is really just the 2nd round that's gotten over. And I think as we move along into the next one, that's why I'm saying my personal filter for power play ending is 11 o'clock. Only after 11 I'll start analyzing which party can go where.
Vinay's filter has been taken very seriously, even among RJD supporters, I see. And, that's very encouraging sign, because the thing I saw from what RJD supporters were saying, the restraint, actually the numbers that have lately come in is advantageous to favoring NDA. After 3 rounds, Vinay, or 2 rounds?
Yeah, this is the 3rd round. Yeah, in some constituencies, 3rd round, some
broadly,
the 2nd round.
2 to 3 rounds, after 2 to 3 rounds are over. The sense I got from their articulation, from my own experience, I can say that they are not so much of RJD cadre supporters who were outside of this thing and talking to news persons. They are more from the CPI-ML or the CPI younger cadre. Who were talking in terms of their articulation, in terms of their get up, and in terms of rest of the things. That perhaps restraint was somewhere showing. RJD no way is doing tremendously well. That goes without saying. But fact remains that the hyperbole that was attached, not so much by the RJD themselves, but people from outside, they were kind of pulling it to the heights that perhaps
there
not
again,
there even in Lalu Yadav's time.
the desperate need to manufacture anybody who talks against Modi or who challenges Modi ji. I think it's the same phenomena that you saw over here. The same set of channels or the same sort of journalists who wanted to lap on to Tejasvi Yadav and make the country believe that he's the one who's going to challenge Modi ji and Amit Shah. When you know, he was just possibly the only better choice that Bihar had at this point of time vis-a-vis Rahul Gandhi. So I think largely point remains that people have gone for tried and tested government, the tried and tested government's work, which they have seen over the last 15 years. Of course, like you said, these are still initial days, but neither is the RJD's performance any inspiring, and Congress has actually shrunk.
Okay.
Last time Congress contested.
So let me just bring in our, sorry, just to come in here, but quick comments from our other representatives. Also, I'm saying good morning to Mr. Sudesh Verma, spokesperson for the BJP. I also have Nilanjan Sarkar, Assistant Professor of Political Science at Ashoka University. Thank you both of you for also being with us. We'll also shortly have Saeed Afzal Abbas of the JDU joining us. But Mr. Sudesh Verma, good morning to you. It's 10:20. And Vinay is right now saying he's going to wait another 40 minutes before he decides on which way this is headed or to even start taking these numbers seriously. I'm going to ask you for a minute to not respond as a BJP spokesperson, but wear your journalist hat and count that experience in and tell me, in such a scenario, would you also wait and watch before you say which way it's headed?
Yeah, of course, as a political worker also, I have experienced that we should not be commenting before, the dice is cast. And so far as, our expectations are concerned, Tanvi, I have debated on your channel also, that you see, we are very confident that we should come back to power under the leadership of Nitish ji. I'll tell you why. Because there is performance versus promises, and performance you have seen. Those who are in touch with Bihar, they know what Bihar used to be. And they know that development has happened. And of course, if another 5 years and the kind of vision Modi ji has for Bihar, like you see, those who suffer because of lack of health facilities, who should know that in every district we are going to have super speciality hospital. So you need a double engine Sarkar. So our voters, largely silent voters, may not be vocal. The
Super
attendance in the rally of Tejasvi and the exit polls and some of the polls that gave, massive victory, they created an optics. They created an optics, and there could be a Stockholm syndrome in favor of the RJD alliance because of that. But our silent voters must have been firm, and they are going to vote for this alliance, and that is why you see the numbers reflecting on your channel also. We are sure this trend is going to continue and will cross the majority figure.
But let me just say this, Mr. Sudesh Verma, irrespective of whether you manage to cross the majority figure or not, your other ally, it doesn't seem to be pulling its weight. Now, I'm sure part of it was expected, but to this extent, ये डबल इंजन सरकार में एक इंजन तो बहुत ही ऐसे घिस-घिस के चल रहा है अभी.
नहीं तन्वी, ऐसी नहीं. देखिए, नीतीश जी मुख्यमंत्री रहे हैं और नीतीश जी ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है, तो निश्चित ही जो इनकम्बेंसी होती है और थोड़ा आप लोगों का भी हाथ रहा है, जिस तरह से प्रोजेक्शन हुआ है, तो नीतीश जी के खिलाफ शायद ये होगा. लेकिन मैं बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ, पार्टी कॉन्फिडेंट है कि नीतीश जी अच्छा करेंगे. जेडीयू के पहले नंबर्स खराब थे, अब अच्छा हो रहा है. अगर एनडीए को सरकार बनानी है तो नीतीश जी को अच्छा करना ही होगा, इसमें कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है. और देखिए, जो अच्छा कार्य उन्होंने किया है, फाइनली बिहार की जनता, संजय जी को पता है, वो बिहार से हैं, कि बहुत पॉलिटिकली मैच्योर्ड होते हैं. वो भले ही आप कोई भी ऑप्टिक्स क्रिएट करिए, उन्हें पता है कहाँ पर बटन दबाना है.
Well, we also pick up from what the political parties seem to be giving us as a sense, Mr. Sudesh Verma, and one can't deny that even NDA's own campaign had a lot more to do with BJP and Prime Minister Modi than Nitish Kumar.
You see, of course, Modi ji is the tallest leader in this country. And if you see the by-election results also,
Yeah.
whether it is Telangana, where BJP is, the second largest party, or Madhya Pradesh, you see the way we are doing in Madhya Pradesh. People actually, I'm telling you, I was in Karnataka, and when Yediyurappa Sarkar did not come, people were crying. Because it was a weekend time when they had gone out to celebrate their weekend and they did not vote. And they felt that because of our not voting, Yediyurappa ji has not come. And you see this translated that in Karnataka in 2019 we got massive majority because the by-elections took place and all of them won on BJP tickets. So is it happening in Madhya Pradesh. You see the results in Madhya Pradesh as projected by you also, and now the trends are also coming. We are winning handsomely. So there is a pro-BJP wave everywhere in the country, and it should benefit the alliance in India alliance in Bihar also.
सुदेश जी, मैं केवल एक ही चीज की वो चाहत रखूंगा, एक ही चीज प्रार्थना करूंगा कि बाई इलेक्शन वाली परिस्थिति मध्य प्रदेश और कर्नाटक जैसी बिहार में ना आए.
Yes, I think that everybody is going to vote for. Wैसी situation ना आए. But Mr. Sudesh Sharma, one follow-up question to what you said. At what point do you think would be a good time to pick up the phone for the BJP leadership and speak to Chirag Paswan today?
You see, as Chirag ji is within his right to give vent to his political ambition, and this is why the LJP contested, on its own. Otherwise, it has been a very strong alliance partner of the India at the center, and we wanted them to contest with us, but they decided that they will not. So now, you see, everybody submits to the wishes of people. You came with an agenda, if people reject that and accept Nitish ji, then everybody should accept that, including the RJD alliance. And if the reverse happens, we would accept that. So that's not a big deal.
पर मुझे सुदेश जी एक चीज बताइए, अब आप लोग नीतीश जी को क्यों, मतलब आपका पार्टी अच्छा परफॉर्म करेगा अलायंस में, नीतीश जी से तो बेटर ही करेगा डेफिनेटली. व्हाई डू यू नीड हिम? आप उनकी पार्टी को अपने में ही सम्मिलित कर लीजिए. नीतीश जी तो वैसे ही कह रहे हैं, आखिरी इलेक्शन है उनका.
चार दिल की बात कह दिया आपने.
देखिए,
खत्म ना, बीजेपी की पहली
फ्लाई बाय नाइट ऑपरेटर्स हम लोग नहीं है. देखिए, फ्लाई बाय नाइट ऑपरेटर्स हम लोग नहीं है. आइडियोलॉजी बेस्ड पार्टी है और भारत की राजनीति में एक बहुत लंबा सफर कर हम आए हैं और आगे भी लंबा सफर करना है. आइडियोलॉजी है और जिस आइडियोलॉजी के तहत हम गए, विकास की आइडियोलॉजी नीतीश जी को प्रोजेक्ट किए, तो कम आए ज्यादा है, हमारे नेताओं ने बताया कि वही मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे. इसमें कोई सकोसुबा नहीं होना.
बिहार राज्य में एक कांग्रेसवाद था जो आजादी के बाद से 60 के दशक तक चला, फिर समाजवाद आया जो जेपी मूवमेंट और लोहिया मूवमेंट और कर्पूरी ठाकुर जी के टाइम में चला. 1990 के बाद अपर ओबीसी का मूवमेंट चला जो लालू जी ने चलाया. अब एक नया अध्याय शुरू होने वाला है बिहार में, क्योंकि अब वो भी खत्म हो गया. उस अध्याय की शुरुआत बीजेपी कर सकती है. सिंगल पार्टी, सिंगल रूल.
बिल्कुल. देखिए, आपको पता है कि राम मंदिर के बनने के बाद, धारा 370 हटने के बाद यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड जो है वो भी हो ही रहा है. तो आप ये मान के चलिए, हमारा एजेंडा क्या, आइडियोलॉजी क्या है? भारत स्ट्रांग हो, भारत मजबूत हो, विकास हो, यही आइडियोलॉजी है ना. तो इस आइडियोलॉजी को जो भी मानेगा वो हमारा एलाइज है. हमारे साथ आके भारत के विकास में अपना हाथ जोड़े, क्या दिक्कत है?
Right. So there is a possibility of, them relooking at कौन है अलायंस में, कौन चला गया बीच में थोड़ी देर के लिए और फिर वापस आने के लिए दरवाजे पूरे खुले हुए हैं, ये हो सकता है. Let me also just say good morning to Dr. Shravan Dasoju, National Spokesperson of the Congress Party, also joining us right now. But a quick comment from Nilanjan Sarkar. Nilanjan was with us on Saturday as well. Nilanjan, contrary to what a majority of the pollsters were predicting, it's not going to be that simple as things stand right now. 112 for the NDA, 112 for the MGP. Those are the leads 2.5 hours into the counting. What is your own sense?
So, I mean, let's not forget what happened in 2015. So I think at this point, everybody is afraid to call anything in Bihar, given the way in which polls can switch in this state over time. I also agree with the assessment that if you are a numbers person, you're going to have to wait a little bit of time, maybe even past 11 o'clock if it's this close, to be able to really see some of the trends. There's a statistical reason for that, right? Which is that early on, different groups of voters are being counted by random chance. You get a cache of BJP voters or JDU voters or RJD voters. But over time, things start moving towards the me. And so things start pushing in one direction. So we'll have to wait to let that process play out. What I would say, though, in terms of the polls, it seems clear that the polls were overly bullish on RJD and Congress and team. And, there were polls that were predicting a close finish. I do think the major story, though, which is something that you've already talked about, your panelists have talked about, is that there does seem to be a difference in performance between the BJP and the JDU. And insofar as we're thinking about coalition dynamics, maybe the JDU's weak performance is still sufficiently strong to get the NDA across. Maybe it's not. But the story when it comes to coalition dynamics, the story when it comes to thinking about state-center relations, even if the NDA is to form power, is that the JDU not performing as well in its seats is going to have a very negative impact on its bargaining power.
Actually, that's a very interesting point that I did want to delve a little deeper on. Tuhin, what explains this? What explains the fact that voters in a state are giving thumbs up to the BJP, and the BJP is managing to strengthen itself from the last couple of times, while its ally is going from getting weaker and weaker.
I had given you the Maharashtra example. Surprisingly, even in Maharashtra, there were two parties which were in power together, but one party was very distinctly known for its performance, and the other party was known as, was not so well regarded, or the perception was a problem for the other party. Now, there is a very similar situation over here. So
but in Maharashtra, you had Devendra Fadnavis as the face of the work being done in the state this time. Unlike in Bihar, where you don't have a BJP face.
The other factor is that a lot of central schemes, which are meant social welfare schemes, actually the benefits go to the states.
Right.
So irrespective of whether the state government has been, directly comes under the state government, or whether those are central schemes, the BJP per se is known for its work ethics, it's known for its deliverance. And that gives an edge to the BJP in all the states, even if it has a different alliance partner. The other thing which would need to be studied more is there has been a robust women turnout this time. Now, some people wanted to believe that the women voter would be going against the NDA or voting for Tejasvi and Congress. But fact is, if traditionally you see the amount of work which NDA has done for women, whether it is the Ujjwala scheme now in Bihar, Nitish Kumar was the first chief minister probably to give 50% reservation to women in Panchayat. So all of these would actually make women go for NDA. This is another factor which I think by evening we would have more data on that and we could study. But largely, BJP has made pro-incumbency a reality, at least so far as the party is concerned. We are not sure about the alliance partners in every situation, but I think we are benefiting and we are reaping the benefits of the excellent
Just
work.
want to point out, Jitan Ram Manjhi is now currently trailing in his constituency of Imamganj.
Not unexpected. Even last assembly elections, he barely managed to win, despite NDA, BJP giving him many seats, about 30 seats to Jitan Ram Manjhi. And he only won from Imamganj, that too with some difficulty. See, the difference that, the question that you are asking, the difference in votes that, the numbers that we are seeing, JDU 41, BJP 72, that is because of the kind of reach Modi has among the people. The delivery mechanism, I have seen impact on people's face, women in particular, particularly the poorest sections, the EBCs, also among people who have been on the margins. And the delivery mechanism, Modi mein unko kuch aur hi dikhta hai. This I have seen in Rajasthan, where huge anti-incumbency was there against Vasundhara Raje, the chief minister. And when I went there with the dichotomy that Modi was drawing huge crowd, so they said this is going to be against Vasundhara, but Modi ji प्रधानमंत्री चाहिए, Modi ji ऐसा है वैसा है. Modi ji ने एक ही गलती की कि उन्हें दो कान पे चमाट नहीं मारे. This is quote unquote. This is not my word. This is quote unquote, and that was irrespective of incumbent was a man or a woman. That also rider I had. Why I am saying so? Because Modi's persona, Modi's personal appeal pulled that election from BJP being at 30 to something around 72, 74 in Rajasthan Assembly election with that kind of anti-incumbency. In these elections, people in Bihar are making a distinction between Nitish Kumar and the BJP per se. So BJP on its own is holding very firmly with strike rate of around 70 plus, 80 around 80%. Nitish Kumar had cultivated a special constituency for himself. The women are also incidentally a huge constituency for Modi because of those socially beneficial schemes. And also among the EBCs.
Right.
EBCs among also there is a commonality of EBCs factors between Nitish Kumar, where this is making a difference, possibly to my understanding, I may be right or wrong, in the final outcome, that upper caste votes, which were there with Nitish Kumar, wherever Nitish Kumar, JDU was there or
They have transitioned to BJP fully now.
So this time they are undecisive. In some cases they have voted for LJP. In some cases, part of that has gone to RJD, that I know for a fact. Part of that has also gone to RJD, which was unthinkable some time back.
Okay.
So therefore, those differences there. So far, Modi could pull. He is pulling out the cart.
So let me just bring in other panelists as well on this, and I'm going to now go across to Dr. Shravan Dasoju. Dr. Shravan Dasoju, 2.5 hours into the counting, it doesn't look like a smooth sailing for the Mahagathbandhan just yet, contrary to what some of the exit polls were saying. Are you still feeling confident?
I think it's too early to make any kind of conclusions. We still have to complete the half marathon. But certainly we are confident that Mahagathbandhan will do better. And RJD will emerge as single largest party, and Mahagathbandhan will certainly do better, is what we believe. But we still have half marathon.
Yeah, but right now the NDA seems to be leading with 117 and the Mahagathbandhan and 108. Have the, backroom conversations already begun, planning already begun on what is to be done if both alliances fall short of the halfway mark?
That's what I said. It's too early to make any kind of comments on those issues. But right now, I think we are hopeful that Mahagathbandhan will do good.
Okay, Syed Afzal Abbas of the JDU also joining me right now. Syed Afzal Abbas had made a big claim on our show on Saturday that irrespective of what the polls say, NDA will get 150. Abbas जी, अभी भी आप 150 के कॉन्फिडेंस में है या थोड़ा सा नीचे आ गया एस्टिमेट?
थोड़ा सा आगे पीछे तो हो सकता है, लेकिन 150, 140 से 50 मैंने भी कहा था कि हमको जितना आज भी मैं कह रहा हूँ कि जो वोटर मेरे वीकर सेक्शन के महिलाएं जो है 50% और वीकर सेक्शन ईबीसी और जिस तरह से काम किया नीतीश कुमार ने, उस पर मैं पूरी तरह से आज भी कह रहा हूँ, परिणाम जो कुछ भी हो मैं उस पर नहीं जाता, लेकिन मुझे यकीन था कि ये लोग वोटर मेरे साथ है, वो साइलेंट वोटर जिसको कहते हैं। बहुत सारे लोग जो थे कि चिल्ला रहे थे कि देखिए भीड़ जो थी, मैं अभी भी कह रहा हूँ, हालांकि परिणाम आना पूरा बाकी है, ये 20-22 राउंड चलेगा कोरोना की वजह से, पहले 14-15 राउंड में पूरा एक इलेक्शन पूरा हो जाता, 15-20 के 22 के आसपास होगा, अब वक्त लगेगा। लेकिन मैं बार बार कह रहा था कि जो भीड़ जो तेजस्वी यादव के भीड़ दिखाई दे, दो पार्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी की थी, एक वो युवा थे और उनकी कम्युनिटी के लोग, तो जमीन पे जो गरीब गुरबा लोग हैं उनको मतलब भीड़ से नहीं होता है, उनको काम से। मैंने कहा था कि मेरे गांव में जब वोट दिया था, महिलाएं ये कहती कि नीतीश कुमार जो और नरेंद्र मोदी के नाम पर वोट दे रहे हैं, तो इसी से मैंने अंदाजा लगाया कि हम पूर्णतः आश्वस्त थे और हैं कि सरकार हमारी बनेगी, क्योंकि हम अंतर्यामी तो है नहीं, लेकिन जो देखते हैं उसके आधार पर मैंने कहा था कि एनडीए की सरकार 100% बनेगी और सीटों का।
पर मुझे ये बताएं अब्बास जी, मुझे ये बताएं, अभी अगर आपकी ये जो काउंट है ये 118 पे या 115 पे आके रुक गया और 122 तक नहीं पहुंच पाए, और फिर जो है चिराग पासवान की जरूरत पड़ी, उनकी 6 सीटों में लीड है, तो फिर नीतीश जी का क्या रहेगा मूड?
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो मैं मानने, अगर बहुमत तो हम लोग ले लेंगे, इसमें कोई 222 122 तेज का बहुमत आया, मुझे लगता है, हालांकि बहुत अर्ली कहना ये कि 122 तेज की बात करें, मुझे लगता है कि हम बहुमत आए। अगर चिराग पासवान नीतीश कुमार जी का विरोध करते यहाँ तक आए और 6 सीट जो आप देख रहे हैं, मुझे लगता भी नहीं कि 6 सीट को पहुंच पाएंगे, क्योंकि बहुत सी चीजें है कि एक सेगमेंट पे जो बूथ खुलता है वोट ईवीएम हो सकता है उस एरिया का किसी और का होता है और हमारे एरिया का कुछ और होता है। इस आधार पर भी वोट के काउंटिंग होता है। क्योंकि मैं कई बार काउंटिंग में रहा हूँ, मैंने देखा है, बड़ी नजदीकी से देखा है। तो 6 सीट की बात कर रहे ठीक है, लाया अलग बात है। मुझे लगता नहीं है कि उनको 6 सीट भी आने वाला है। हम आराम से 130, 40, 50 जो मैंने कहा था वो आएगा। सरकार एनडीए की बनने जा रही। नीतीश कुमार जी मतलब हम जेडीयू, बीजेपी और वीआईपी के ही सरकार बन जाएगी। कंफर्टेबल मार्जिन से सरकार बनाएंगे।
Okay. Very quickly, one question before I go across to Aarti with some more insights on the numbers. Dr. Dasoju, I wanted your reaction on what's happening in Simanchal. In the Simanchal area, which is supposed to be a stronghold for the Mahagathbandhan, we are actually looking at the BJP leading in 9 seats and the JDU leading in 6 seats, with the Congress and the RJD only leading in 2 seats each. What is your own sense of what's going on in Simanchal? Okay, we're going to try and fix that line with him. We've lost that line with Dr. Shravan Dasoju. But let me see if I can go across to Aarti with some more insights on what the leads and the trails are showing right now. Aarti?
Tanvi, I'm going to take off actually where you were asking the question about Simanchal. It's a very interesting region. It went to polling in the third phase. It is a Muslim and a Yadav dominated belt, and the results are pretty interesting here. If we can have a look at Simanchal specifically. Now in Simanchal, it is the NDA that is currently leading. They have 15 seats as compared to the Mahagathbandhan's 5. Of course, the caveat here is that these are all initial trends. These are the leads that are coming in. But from the Simanchal region, 15, that is the NDA is ahead and the MGB is 5. I want to go to 2 specific regions. One where the NDA is doing much better than it is in other regions, and the other one where the Mahagathbandhan is doing much better as compared to other regions. And I want to start off with Tirhut, which is where the maximum number of leads for the NDA have come. They have 32 leads from this particular region compared to the Mahagathbandhan's 15. In most of the other regions, it's pretty neck to neck. But let's go back to where the Mahagathbandhan is now doing really well, and that is in Bhojpur. Bhojpur, which went, I think, to polls in the first and a little bit of it in the second phase as well. If you see, the Mahagathbandhan has 34 leads coming in from Bhojpur, while the NDA has 13. So I think these 3 regions are very interesting, each one of them with their own distinct characteristics, and each one of them providing most of the leads that either the Mahagathbandhan or the NDA is accruing. But needless to say, it is still very neck to neck. The situation could change, and we're just going to keep bringing you the trends as and when they come along.
All right, Aarti, so that's the Simanchal region that she was also talking about, where the trends, initial trends and leads show BJP leading in 9 of those seats. In fact, let me just quickly open that for our viewers and tell them that it's actually the BJP leading in Forbesganj now, back again. It's gone back into their, into their kitty. Jokhihat, Katihar and Kishanganj. So all of these places have now swung back to the BJP